Hello. This is the basic course on full stack development for web development course, and in this thing we will be discussing about the HTML, which is about the front end development. So basically, in full stack development of web programs, it contains both the front and the back end development. So, for example, for the user browser, to access the website, it first needs the content, which are basically coded in HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. So HTML is the raw data, and CSS is used for styling purpose. And this styling framework can be found from the Bootstrap. So the content, the HTML content is served to the website by Python and the Django, and the collection of database, it is this database is basically the interaction which happens with the Django, and the hosting is done with Linode, which is basically a cloud hosting provider. So in front end section, we have basically three parts: HTML, CSS, and the Bootstrap. And the backend section, we have Python basics, Python advanced, Django section, Linode deployment. So to learn this course, we basically need IDE, which is basically integrated development environment. Basically, it's a software in which we can code, as well as it contains many integrations such as .NET, source code, extra plugins. For example, Visual Studio Code. So in macOS, to use the Visual Studio Code, we need to install the Homebrew, which is basically like other pip install, something like that. Through Homebrew only we can install Python 3, and from there we need to install the pip3. Using pip3 we can install the Django. So next is the basic course on the HTML5. So what is basically HTML? HTML means hypertext markup language. Basically, the markup language means it includes the metadata for annotation of the document. So basically, these annotations looks differently. It looks visibly distinguishable, and user sees in the document, that is the web page. So for example, there are some used tags. Tags means the title, the body means if you put the title, and this will be in a bolder way, and the body is the content of the topic. So Django basically inserts automatically these HTML contents for us. So this basically Django basically makes our work easier by inserting all the data, so our work is less in that. So basically in HTML there are a few sections called tags, lists, divs and spans, attributes, tables and forms. So basically tags means the heading, the emphasis, means the style, the paragraph, etc. And docs means it gives a certain it's basically helper set, which basically contains a set of details and in which we can enter our metadata or something like that. So from the coding, you can see that this is basically the tag for heading h1, h2 is the second one, and emphasis, em means emphasis, life story, and p is the paragraph. So when we put this HTML file and run it in the browser, you can see that here heading 1 is giant, heading 2 is smaller, and the emphasis is in the italic way, and the paragraph, everything in this world is happening in a perfect manner. So this is the paragraph. So this is what happens, and this is the helper. When you type the doc, so this body, this is automatically created. So this is the metadata we will be discussing later, and this is the head, is basically comes away, and this is the body. So when you type this paragraph and you want to fill some text, randomly some text, you can just type lorem, and when you type the lorem, randomly some meaningless sentence will come up. So from you can see that here in the web page, you can see some text are coming randomly, right? Just to fill up the space. So next we will go to the uh, we will go to the list section. So in the list section we can see that in the VS Code Django plugins can be installed, live preview can be installed, but in my system it is not coming. So in the list there are ordered list and unordered list. So when you want to order list, it is basically number. This one is just a bullet points are there. So in this coding codes, you can see that in ordered list, you can see just type li to list it out, red, yellow, green, and inside that we can also create a ordered list or unordered list. So as you can see from here to here, there are two things, ordered and unordered list. When we see this thing in the web page, you can see here it is ordered, and in between there is a unordered list, and then the completely unordered list are there. So next goes to the division and the spans. Division basically it is separates and controls the large container, and this only controls the inline items. So basically you can see from the code here, so you can see that here the division style color red, this color red basically applies to both this section, and for this division it doesn't happen. And when you go to this paragraph, you can see that the span style color is red, and then German is coming here. When we apply this thing here in the web page, you can see that here the first division is basically red, second division is nothing, and this when we use a span, the particular word can be highlighted, it can change, it can be changed. Basically the span means only the inline of the any sentence or any given paragraph can be changed, but the division basically takes the whole chunk and controls it. And then we go to the attributes means like the style, the color red, this is called attributes. There are different kind of attributes. In that, one of the important tag is the image tag and the anchor tag. Image means to put the image in the file, and the anchor tag is to create a hyperlink of any text of any file or a website link. So from the code you can see that here img image source is the file which is in the same folder of the working folder of this file, and second thing is the h reference of the particular file, and the name is given as file2, and the third one is the reference h reference to the website. So when this is code, when this happens, if we see the website here, you can see the image, the Django image is there, the file2 is there, and the website is there. If you click this one, it will directly go to the second file which I have created, and if you click this, it will directly go to the Google page. So next is the tables. So in this table, the syntax is like this: table border one. This is basically the attribute, and then THEAD. This command is used to create the columns, number of columns, the name and the title, and the number of columns. And then after closing it, then TR to create the rows, number of rows we can create, and then close the table. So here comes the table part. Table border one. Border one means it creates the border line for the table, and this is the column, and these are the rows which are created. You can see here same thing is there. The border length, the border thickness is 1, and this is the table we have created, simple. And then goes to the we are coming to the very important thing, forms. So basically in forms it is used to retrieve information from the clients and to give the informations. So basically these forms are created inside this HTTP. HTTP means hypertext transfer protocol, which is used to enable communication between the client and the server. HTTPS means the HTTP which are secured through encryptions. There are many methods of using HTTP, which is to get and post. Get means to request data from the source, and post it to send data to the source, to the server. So forms are basically an important element where we can receive the information from the client, as I said, So there are basically input tags which are used to get in details from the clients, and the labels, so what the clients see. So from the code we can see that, so this form, basically this is the syntax form action. So whenever we click the submit button after filling up the form, if we say click the submit button, this submit button will trigger this file. So this file is basically nothing but the thank you thing it is given in this file. So if you see that this is the label, and the name of the label name of the label is email only, it will connect to this file. So this is the syntax we can show, it is shown outside. So what kind of input is this email type, and the id basically um, links this type and the for name, and the name is basically the input variable. The same goes to the password type is given, and if you want to type the name, the text type has to be given. Same goes to the last type, and you can submit. If you see the thing, you can see that the form is automatically email, password, first name, second name, and then submit. When you click submit, it goes to the same file, second file. So similar kind of form is there again. If you want to have something like this, to click good or normal something, but always only one option should be selected. So for this kind of form we are using type as a radio means the round clicking type will come. So for that we need to put the same thing for good, for name, and then id and the name. So the main goal is to put the same name for the both the things, for the both the options we need to give the same name, and the value depends on us. If you don't give the value, whenever you click this option the value will be on, when you click this option it will be on. If you want a separate value we can manually set it as good or normal. So the last thing is, for if you want to create a scroll down options, so for that you need to create this syntax as select, and the name of the variable is stars. So if you will give the some options as good, normal, and bad, and then close it. And for the content also you can create this text area thing, it's the same syntax. If you give, it will submit like this. You can see that this scroll down option is there, good normal thing. And this text area you can type anything, you can also resize this, and then when you click submit, this goes to the predefined file. So this is basically the normal HTML course. Later we will go to the CSS and then bootstrap and go to the Python things. Thank you.